What's up YouTube? My name is Orlasha and welcome to this channel called Light Breaking Forth.
What was lost you found, you brought me back around.
Today I'm going to be talking about Kennesaw State University's Accelerated Bachelor of Science in Nursing program. If you are a traditional student, you can still stick around because I have tea for y'all too. Anyways, we're going to get straight into it. Today I'm just going to be talking about how I got in, what I did to get in, the metrics that you need, what you should consider before going in, while you're in it, and after you graduate, and just literally anything that you could possibly think about. If you have more questions, you can leave it down below. I'll be sure to answer them. So let's really get into it. I entered Kennesaw State in summer of 22 because I had to take prerequisites. If you are going to Kennesaw State University, before you apply to the nursing program, you have to make sure that you have already taken ANP1, which is Anatomy and Physiology 1 and 2 with the lab, both of them with the lab. Also, you need to take microbiology with the lab. You also need to take human development. That does not have a lab. Elementary statistics and contemporary economic issues. I'm not too sure about those last two right now because I believe they have changed the prerequisites around. Go to your advisor. I know advisors are like, but some of them are very helpful. Ask them to put a detailed schedule together for you to have all your semesters mapped out, okay? Period. So I took all of those, and then to get into Kennesaw State's program, you have to take the T's. Some nursing schools do the HESI, others do the T's. Kennesaw State does the T's, T-E-A-S. What they are looking for is a 74. I believe I made like a 80 something. I don't remember. I'm not gonna hold y'all. But if you make a 74, still apply. If you make a 74 on the dot, still apply. They accept over 200 people into the nursing program. Still apply. If you're going in accelerated, they do accept less accelerated than they do traditional. Usually there's less accelerated applying anyways. If you are accelerated though, the only way you can be is if you have a bachelor's degree from a previous school. My bachelor's degree is from Spelman College. I got a Bachelor of Science in Biochemistry. If you have all of these things mapped out and you're ready to go and you're ready to apply to nursing school, congratulations and get ready for your journey, okay? Now, when you go to nursing school, what do you need? A stethoscope. I don't care. Do not argue with me. A stethoscope. Do you need the EKO stethoscope? No, baby. I don't even have that. That is a $500 stethoscope. No. My stethoscope was from the KSU bookstore. It was $18. I survived clinicals with that, okay? And I used it. Now, the most I used it was in my PS clinical, but everywhere else, baby, they just be hooked up on the monitor and chilling, and they don't really be checking it too much. Except for my practicum, we used it every day. But listen, you need your stethoscope. Go get one. And you need it for, not clinical, but labs. You need it for your nursing school labs. Get one. You don't need your own blood pressure cuff. What you need is some money. I advise you to save 2 racks before even applying. I advise you to save $2,000 before applying because the first day you enter, you're going to sit down and they're going to introduce themselves. Every professor, they're going to be like, I'm Dr. So-and-so, I'm Professor So-and-so, I'm Professor So-and-so, I'm Dr. So-and-so. And you're just going to be like, and then after they introduce themselves, they're going to get right into the first lecture. And that first slide will be like, before we move forward, these are the books that you're going to need. And then you're going to realize that they brought in this representative who's going to come in and say, here's the website to buy your books. You're going to realize that your books amount to $1,000 and you're going to be like, whoa, can I get a discount? And they're going to be like, this is the discount. And then you're going to go to the bookstore and then you're going to realize that the books at the bookstore cost more than the link that they gave you in the class. And so just please, especially if you're accelerated, you know, and you use all of your FAFSA loan money, have money saved or get a private loan. Most of the time you cannot skirt around it because there are assignments in those book purchases. So yeah. And because people didn't buy the book, they actually end up failing the class because they couldn't get to the assignments. Also, on the first day of class, they're going to be like, okay, what we use to usually test your understanding at the end of each semester is called ATI. It's this testing thing. It's actually really good. ATI is great, and I'm glad that we use it. It's harder than the NCLEX, so you kind of you're forced to critically think. And I'm just still thankful for it. But if you end up getting like 50s and 60s on the ATI, don't fret, babes. That's just that's the rite of passage. I'm not gonna hold you. But on the first day of class, they're gonna call you in and they're gonna be like, okay, these are the books you have to buy for ATI. And they give you this link and they're like, if you don't buy them, you don't get to ATI. And if you don't get ATI, you can't, there's no way you could possibly pass any class in the program because your assignments are also in ATI. That's how they get you. And so in order to get this ATI program and the books and all the stuff, the fee for us was $785. I was like, ma'am, who has this money? Who has this money sitting in their bank account? That's somebody rent money. Baby, they took my rent money one semester. I was like, oh, I forgot. Yeah, it was bad, okay? And then you also have to pay for your scrubs. I advise you to get 2 to 3 pairs of scrubs. Now, they say to only buy 2, but them days when it start ramping up and you got clinical back to back and you're just like, I gotta wash my clothes the second I get home so I can have scrubs for tomorrow. Like, I shouldn't have played with them. I only had 2 pairs of scrubs and my laundry room was on rotation, okay? But I advise you to get 2 to 3 pairs of scrubs with the scrub jacket because them hospitals are cold, okay? Even the classrooms are cold. I advise you, please, don't get your shoes from the website that they send you. They sent us temerities. Do not get them shoes. Get some comfortable all black shoes. Your shoes have to be all black. Make sure they are comfortable. If you have to get Hokas, get them. I advise you, if you're gonna spend money on some good, comfortable walking shoes. Do you hear me? Okay. You also have to pay $200 for a backpack. Now, this is not a regular backpack. It is your skills backpack, okay? It comes with everything. Mine is in my storage unit. I don't have it here with me, but it came with everything. It comes with the Foley. Please don't put none of this in your friends, okay? It's not sterile for real, because once you open it, that's it, okay? That's all. But it comes with the Foley catheter. It comes with saline. It comes with sterile gloves. It comes with alcohol pads and the little squishy thing to stick needles in. It comes with syringes and needles. It comes with ampules. It comes with vials. It's not really medication. It just has saline, but it helps you with your skills and develop all those skills. And once you start to do it, you start to be like, okay, I got it. It's not a recommendation. It's a required item. $200 for the book bag, okay? I'm just trying to warn y'all because nobody warned me, okay? Another thing, especially if you're in the accelerated group, start your group me on the first day. Now, for my group, we didn't know who all was accelerated until our 3rd semester. Mind you, the program is only 4 semesters. But for the first 2 semesters, we were with like the entire group with all the traditional students and accelerated students. So we had traditional friends that we thought were going to be with us for the long haul. Come to find out, they were traditional, we were accelerated, and we started to drift apart because we started to go into different classes. And so I was like, oh, my Shayla. But make sure you start your group me on the first day, because once you're in that group with the entire traditional class, you start to get irritated because nobody is talking about, they're all talking about stuff that you already knew because you're in the accelerated and you're in the class where they already talked about all the stuff. Like, and then they ask questions over and over again. When you could be in a group me with 30 people, somebody asks a question, it gets answered, conversation over. Okay, that's why I loved our group me. There was no nonsense in that group me, okay? Somebody asked a question already, go back to the question instead of asking the question 50 million times in the big group me with 200 people in it. Like, obviously I was fed up. You hear me? Now, can you work as a accelerated BSN student, they literally make you sign a contract on the first day saying you will not work more than like 20 hours a week. Baby, I had rent to pay. I had groceries to buy. I had bills. Okay? I don't care. I'm done with that program, baby. I worked more than 20 hours a week, and most of everybody else did too. Because how do you expect? A lot of us were by ourselves, 20 years old to 30 years old, by ourselves. Okay? Were they going to buy me food? Were they going to put food on my table and clothes on my back? No. And so, did I go to work? Yes. I worked, first I was working as a CNA. I was a CNA. And first I worked as a CNA, but then my classes started to pick up. And so I worked as a personal caregiver for just one person, but then my classes and my workload started to pick up. So then I started working on campus. And so that was just easy peasy after that. I was like, oh man, I can do this. So can you work? Yes. Do you tell anybody that you're working? Only the people that you trust. Possible job opportunities. As soon as possible, if you are not a CNA, please try to work as an extern. After your first semester in nursing school, you can apply to be as an extern at any of the hospitals. If you are going to Kennesaw State, you can apply to Wellstar Kennesaw, which is down the street. You can apply to Wellstar Cobb. You can apply to any Northside campus hospital. If you stay in Gwinnett, a lot of people stay in Gwinnett and go to Kennesaw State. You can apply to Wellstar Northside Gwinnett. Make sure you can handle it. That's all I'm gonna say. Make sure you can handle it. The one girl I knew, she did night shift. I don't see how she did that because class started at 8 a.m. I'm not about to get off night shift and come to class. No, I'm about to get off night shift and go to sleep. And so a lot of people, they would just work in between like those days where we had classes and didn't have class. And then clinical days, you also have to make up for that as well in your mind. Like maybe we would have class Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then the rest of the day, the rest of the week on your schedule, you will see there would be nothing there. But that's because you have to remember some classes require clinicals. Some clinicals are only once a week. Some were twice a week. Some were 3 times a week. Okay, you hear me? So you have to really have a solidified schedule. Know your schedule before you start trying to work. Now, let's really get into what you're probably here for. The classes that you are going to take in the program. I am specifically going to go over the accelerated schedule and yeah, take it from there. You are, as an accelerated student, your first semester will look like this. You will take holistic nursing. Holistic nursing is basically learning about taking care of a person's entire needs, not just medically, but also mentally, also physically, also spiritually. You really learn about loss and grief. You learn about taking care of that person who does not have traditional medicine practices. And so all of those things. Also, that's where you learn about different dietary needs and all. And then clinical pathophysiology. Patho is where a lot of people struggle. For my background, that was my easiest class because that's all, I had a whole degree in it, okay? But with Patho, there is help available. If you feel like you are slipping, if you feel like you need help, I advise you, if you do not make a B on the first, a B or higher on the first test, go get help, please. And this is not to shame you. Literally, get the help that you need because it does not get easier after that. After that first test, everything starts to build on what was supposed to be your foundation, which is everything that was on that first test. If you don't know anything on the first test, you will continue to just trend down because now that you're going into the second test, you're going to have to learn everything from the first test that you didn't learn, and then also learn all that's going to be on this second test, on that third test. So if you do not make a B or above on the first test, get help. They have help available, and they tell you in each class when the help is available. Third class, health assessment. Love this class. Really learn to do everything that a nurse does. You learn it by the systems. So we go neuro, we go heart, we go muscular, we go integumentary. We literally go into each system and learn how to assess each thing. So I love it. It was cool. And then for accelerated, we also took nursing research. No comment. Second semester, you will take professionalism and ethics. You have a choice to take it online or in person. I did it in person. I didn't care. A lot of my peers did it online. You also take pharmacology. Now, this is a class that a lot of people just end up failing because it's a lot of memorization, mostly because of the way that they teach it at Kennesaw State. I'm not going to hold you. I'm not gonna hold you. If I knew pharm was gonna be like that, I would have started studying like way before this semester. I would have listened to Mark Klimak's lectures, and I would have started learning the medications by groups. At Kennesaw State, they don't teach you it by groups. They teach you it by disease process. And I did not like that. I was like, girl, I'm just a girl. I'm just a student. I don't know what we talking about. And they did not care. Third class is going to be adult health. A lot of people don't like that class either. I thought it was an extension of holistic health, so I didn't really care. And then fourth class is mental health. Easy peasy. When I tell you easy A, easy A. My third semester, which is summer semester, so we only took 2 classes. That was parent-child nursing, which is, mother-baby, and then complex health. Complex health? No comment. Mother-baby, loved that class, okay? With this class, you also get a OB clinical, and then you get a PEDS clinical, and it was just so amazing. And you get 4 of OB, 4 of PEDS, 4 days of OB, 4 days of PEDS. It was just so good. Chef's kiss. And then my last semester was community health and nursing leadership practicum. My practicum was in the pulmonary thoracic care unit, and so I got to see a lot because it was also like a intermediate care unit. So it wasn't strictly pulmonary. It was also just a lot of other things. And so I got to learn a lot as well. So I'm glad that my stuff was there. So that's what your program will look like. Once you get into the groove of it, you'll realize like, oh, this is kind of going by fast. Am I learning enough? You are learning enough. It may not feel like it, but you learn a lot, and you'll realize that at the end of your program. Before you graduate, the week that you graduate, say that you graduate on a Wednesday. That week, on that Monday, apply to the GBON. You're going to know what that is because in the practicum class, they give you like all the instructions on applying. On that Monday before you graduate, apply to the GBON. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do not wait. You will need $350 by the time you graduate. You will need $350 by the time you graduate. Why? You need to pay for fingerprinting. You need to pay for, and you need to pay for your test. You need to pay for fingerprinting and your test. And then there was one other thing that you need to pay for, but I forgot. But you'll know. It's fingerprinting, your test, and something, I think your license or something. Something else. Apply that Monday. It can take up to 30 days to be approved to take your NCLEX. You do not want to wait that long in order to schedule your NCLEX because other people are going to already be scheduling and spaces are going to run out. Yes, even in Atlanta, okay? People didn't get approved until New Year's Day out here and in Atlanta, and their test isn't until February. And they graduated in December. Apply the Monday before you graduate, okay? And one last thing, when they ask for a TB test, they are not talking about a PPD test. They're not talking about the little skin test where they stick the needle and the little bubble forms. No, baby. They want a blood test, okay? I'm not gonna hold you. They didn't accept insurance for the blood TB test. okay? And it was $150. So I had to pay for 2 years worth. And that's as an accelerated student. As a traditional student, I believe you have to pay 3 years worth. $150 for a blood TB test. They want the quantiferon TB test. Quantiferon Gold TB test. Don't make the mistake. Okay. All right. Oh, and before I forget, there are so many job opportunities after you become a nurse. Some law offices actually look for nurses because nurses know the standards, they know the operations, but that's really after like you've been in the hospital and stuff. And so if you feel like law was still kind of your thing after some years, you can go find a job dealing with law. You can go be a corporate nurse, baby. I never knew that was a corporate nurse. You can go be a corporate nurse. You can work in the hospital. You can work in outpatient rehab centers. You can work in nursing homes. You can work in aesthetics where you're giving people lip plumpers and brow fillers and all sorts of things. You can work at an IV clinic where you're giving people vitamin B all day. Like there are so many things to do as a nurse. Don't think that you're in one place. Don't think P's is just there. Don't think OB is just there. Don't think you can literally do high-risk pregnancy. A lot of people skip past that. They need us too. You can literally do cardiac, which is my favorite. Cardiac, the OR. If some nurse tries to come up to you like, oh, you don't have experience to go do OR. You don't have experience to go do this. You don't have experience to go do outpatient. Baby, if you want to go do it, go do it. Go do it. But that's all I have for y'all today. I hope y'all have a great day. May God continue to bless you and lead you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Love is calling out. Oh, how sweet the sound.